Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to bring you the update on my strength stacking CI Chieftain. Currently level 95. This is my project to go to level 100. There is only one thing missing here, and no, I'm not gonna do Labyrinth, and no, I'm not gonna do Blighted Maps, so there is only the level 100 option open. Leveled up today from 93 to 95, mostly through delving, and I gotta say, still deathless, hardcore, maybe not solo self-fought, but still viable. It's kind of insane character, but yeah, with almost 21,000 energy shield at the moment and currently 2,667 strength. Yeah, this character is quite beefy. Talking about DPS, since you're probably gonna wonder about DPS as well, we're having about 1.2 million Shaper DPS with this setup when we have the flasks up. Alright, map showcase, we're just gonna run this 100% quantity anti-mention map. No, not destroy. So you see the playstyle a bit, but the playstyle is nothing too special, if we're honest. Like, it's just Blade Vortex, right? So you're just gonna activate it. We are running the Unleash and Intensify, means as soon as I stand still casting Blade Vortex, I'm getting those Intensify stacks. As soon as I move, my Blade Vortex is getting bigger because I'm losing the Intensify stacks, and so the Blade Vortex will be bigger. So yeah, we have Herald of Ash, so no Herald of Ice Explosion or anything like that. But yeah, what you do, you're just gonna, use your Blade Vortex like every 2 or 3 seconds, and you will permanently have up 10 stacks. And for mapping or for delving and so on, this is quite fine and nice to have. So I tried to do Deathless to level 100, so that's why I decided to take this kind of beefy character here. And yeah, so far it's working out great. I think I switched to CI at level 70 something. Is there anything interesting? Probably not. And I started off with like 10,000 ES already at level 70 or so. So even with a low level and not too much investment, I think with like maybe 20-30x investment, you should be able to reach like 18,000 energy shield, maybe 17,000 something at this point. But in the end, there is a lot of min-maxing going on with this build. So you can make it pretty cheap, but you will not be... I mean, you will be insanely successful with this build, because there is nothing that basically can kill you. I mean, you're not like a glass cannon by any means, right? So that means we're not running around with Blade Vortex with, I don't know, like 10-15 million Shaper DPS that is possible on some other versions of the build. Let's say the... what's it called? Not Eternity... Eternity Shot, yeah, this is what I mean. So it's not going to be an one-shot 20 million DPS character, but still we have so much tankiness, and it's just insanely how you say, fine or cool or whatever. If you're just so beefy, and especially as a streamer aspect, it's like super nice to just sit here, you know, read the chat and don't worry about dying at all. And as I said, I'm mostly leveling through delve here, so I'm making my soul fight rotations and then just delve along the 50,000 cap or what I have at the moment, and yeah, I'm fine here, right? I still hope, I'm doing this build to level 100, and I still hope that I can manage to pull it off in the end to stay deathless. We're gonna see if that works. It's at least the character that's stayed deathless the longest time for now. So the second or the best character that I had yet was I think the Lacerate Berserk that stayed deathless until level 92 and then died to the first Uber Elder. That was kind of, yeah, frustrating, I would say. But yeah, since I'm not playing hardcore, in the end it doesn't really matter. But still, it feels kind of cool when you know, like, yeah, I know that I play softcore, but I'm still like making a hardcore attempt out of it. You know? I mean, obviously, all hardcore people will say now, yeah, well, you're still not playing hardcore, so what the fuck? But yeah. So let's do this Blight here, like nothing too special. I'm currently having, I don't know how many thousand. I need to check the path of building that I just created for the description here, on how much regen and stuff we actually have, because it is just insanely tanky on this point, and we just have so much regen and leech going on. So that was the map showcase. Nothing actually too special. As I said, it's just Blade Vortex character, just like another take on it. So I played Blade Vortex so often, and I think it's probably one of my favorite playstyles in the entire game. So we played Juggernaut Blade Vortex multiple times, the Chieftain with just like usual or normal gear for just like spell damage stacking. I did this, what's it called, a low life version of it. I also played the Eternity Shroud build as an assassin. I played like almost every type of Blade Vortex character, but this one is probably the weirdest one, but still, in my opinion, one of the best ones. I mean, yes, I know it's not a speed build by any means, but it just like, Georges, you just watch how things are just getting demolished here with this kind of build. So, good, let's talk about the build and the changes that I made so far, but first of all, I want to check, actually. So, with my currently almost 21,000 energy shield, I'm having energy shield regen, almost 4,000 regen, and 4,000 leech. That means I can leech up more than 8,000 per second from the energy shield, and this is quite insane, obviously. I was not following a build guide. I want to say this in the start here, before I discuss anything here or explain anything. I was actually following not really a build guide. The thing is, I was following this dude because I found this build, I mentioned it in the last video as well, that is playing that character, and I saw this skill tree and I was like, what the fuck is this shit, you know? And then I was like, I want to try this out, this looks fantastic. And he is currently the leading energy shield Chieftain, basically, with 22,000. So when I take my character with almost 21,000, I'm like in between. I would be ranked 2 at the moment. The only thing that I don't really know, he's having 1.5 million DPS, I'm currently having 1.2, so he has still more strength than I do. But the next upcoming levels here would be another Might of the Meek buffed strength nodes here, so I would be able to get up to 2,760 strength. So I would like to go for 3,000, but this is like so much min-maxing, and yeah, just mention that one. And I found the build guide. I will link it in the description below. I just need to check strength stacking CI Chieftain Blade Vortex. So I just want to give credits to people that are making this, right? There is multiple, but I think that the owner basically of this build, let me just check it up here. Reddit post here, QE forum. Come on, where is it? Anyways, there is a build guide from somebody who made a build like that back in 3.3, I think, or something. I will link in the description below, don't worry about it. So just to not say like, this is my build, this is my idea that I had with doing that. No, it's not. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the build and the changes. So as you remember, I was in the last video, I was like level 70, now 95. So as you saw, I quite doubled my energy shield by now, and I quite doubled my strength here and the damage as well. And yeah, I want to go over the changes. First change that I made is a Hubris Circlet here with the energy shield, since we're CI, so we want to focus on energy shield. Just with strength on it. So what I did was I was buying, I don't know how many Essence of Rage did I spam along with creating this character. And it was more than 200-300. So I can safely say I'll probably stick more than 150 exalts in that. But I have to admit that probably 100 exalts were just in crafting, trying to get some nice strength belt, a nice strength essence crafted shield, helm, and so on. And also the Eyes of the Great Wolf, that is just like a massive strength bonus. But on the other hand, you have to think of, is it necessary or not? Because once you start min-maxing a character, it will get insanely expensive. And it doesn't matter if it's a strength stacking build or any kind of build. As long as there is like rare items involved, it could get up to mirror tier prices on every single item. So I would say with a budget of like 20 exalts, you can definitely make this character possible. You're just not gonna have 21,000 energy shield. You will be like 17, 18,000 or something, because then it starts to be expensive. Then it starts to be min-maxing, trying to squeeze out every single strength point that you can find both on your tree and on the gear. And once you say like, okay, my belt cost me like probably 15x in chaos spamming, trying to get strength and increased attributes, and this is tier 3 strength. So I could invest another 5,000 chaos in spamming and trying to get tier 1 strength, and in the end I would probably end up having 2.7k instead of 2.6k here, and it would be a lot of exalts invested just for a tiny little bit more strength. But this is min-maxing, so yes, I did spend probably more than 150x in my gear, but the question is that you have to ask yourself, is it necessary if you want to reach that point? Because I don't think that my character will be any worse here with like 19,000 energy shield here. I just want to explain that. So, as I said, Hubris Circlet, increased Blade Vortex duration. That was kind of pricey, I think like 10 exalts just for the base. And then I spent Essence of Rage, this is the strength one. And then I got the hybrid energy shield mod and then just annulled it off, multi-modded for like more energy shield and lightning and cold resistance. The only thing that we have to worry about on this build is cold and lightning resistance, just because we have the Ascendancy, we're Chieftain, we're getting 100 fire resistance from Thessalio Cleansing Water. That means that my fire resistance will be overcapped anyway, so I just have to focus on cold and lightning resistance throughout the rest of the gear. For gems, I'm having here Cast 1 Image taking high level here. With a Molten Shell, then we have Summon Chaos Golem and Meat Shield support. So just for more physical damage reduction coming from the Chaos Golem, and Molten Shell for an insane armor buff here and to mitigate damage. And that's why I'm having a high Cast 1 Image take, because I don't think that a low level Molten Shell with like 50 armor gain is like any good by any means. And I don't want to have a low level Chaos Golem as well, because it will die anywhere I go. Okay, then for the next item, still the Dune Kubiari, which just gives me a bunch of strength and also increased damage per 8 strength in main hand. So if you calculate this one, if we have like 2667 divided by, I think it was 8, right? Means we get like 333% increased damage globally just by having so much strength wearing this weapon. I would definitely say that this one is one of the mandatory items here. Basically, we can say the chest, the gloves, boots, and the weapon are actually mandatory, and the rest of the gear can be switched out for anything. Here I'm having the level 1 Clarity, since I'm using a Watcher's Eye here with the Clarity mod, mana as extra energy shield. Since we have like 3,000 mana, we get a bunch of energy shield. So if we check that, 17.8 to 20.8, which means like I'm getting 3,000 energy shield just from my Clarity Watcher's Eye, which is like insane. And then I have Righteous Fire, or Val Righteous Fire battle set with increased duration for spell damage bonus that we get once the Val Righteous Fire is active. And since Blade Vortex is a spell, we're gonna get a nice chunk of damage on top of here. For the shield, I'm having a Titanium Spirit Shield just for energy shield. This is one of the items that I spent more than 150 Essence of Rage on it, and I still couldn't get it like this one, where I just have strength and a tier 1 energy shield or something. So this one rolled pretty well with like a triple prefix energy shield, not too high, and some lightning resistance. I could craft some cold lightning. So there's one item here that has absolutely no strength, but it has a bunch 350 energy shield, which is quite a lot. But in an update, basically, I'm still trying. I have here a second shield, basically. Somewhere this is my crafting shield, so every time I have some currency left, I'm just buying some Essence of Rages and spam it on a Titanium Spirit Shield, trying to get something like this where you're just gonna have 50 strength. And since we have a shitload of increased strength, we are using 3 Bronze Jewels. It's like 6, 12, 18% increased strength on this one. Then we have 18% increased strength on this one, 12% increased attributes, 30% increased attributes. So 1 strength, or at least let's say 10 strength, we can actually test it here so that you see how much is 1 strength actually giving me. So if we're gonna just refund this point here, so this is a Might of the Meek buffed strength node, so it's 15, right? So I would get up to 650 over here. So if we skill that, we get 67. That means we are getting 32 strength, my math is correct, out of that 15 strength node. So in the next 3 levels, I'm getting here 15, 15, 15, so that's just with those points, it's actually more than 100 strength that I'm just getting from those 3 small strength nodes, so which is kind of insane. And through the strength, we're getting more energy shield, flat, more percentage energy shield, so we're getting more damage based on the Dune Kubiari energy shield. Like, it's like strength is everything on this build. I'm having here Flame Dash, Faster Casting, and Arcane Surge level 7. So this is 32 mana activation. My Flame Dash cost 35. So every time I use my Flame Dash, I'm getting the Arcane Surge buff and getting more spell damage, which is more damage. For the chest, the Joffrey's Sanctuary, which gives me 2 maximum ES per 5 strength. And this is flat energy shield, okay? So this is a lot. Here we have Vile Blade Vortex, Iron Will support, so your spell damage is also affected by strength. Which is mandatory on this build. Then Control Destruction, Combustion Support, Intensify, and the Unleash. Unleash is just for the 3 stacks on the Blade Vortex, so I don't have to spam it too much. So I'm just at the start, you can just spam it, and then every 2 or 3 seconds you're just like using it once, and you will permanently stay on the 10 Blade Vortex stacks here, which is super nice to have. Then for the gloves, this is Shaper's Touch with ally weakness, if you can afford it. If not, skip the ally weakness. Here the mandatory thing is 2% increased energy shield per 10 strength. So, a lot of strength, a lot of flat ES, a lot of percent ES. So that's why every point of ES is giving us such a ridiculous amount of energy shield. Just for reference here, right? If I just put away the helm, 17.5, 20.7. So that's more than 3,000 energy shield just from an hubris circle that is actually giving me 295 energy shield flat here, right? So it's like 3,000 here, and then we have like more than 3,000 on the shield as well. So those 2 items is basically 6,000 energy shield just because of the bases. It's insane. Here we have Anger, Herald of Ash, Discipline, and Enlighten support. Enlighten on level 4 if you can have it, and then you have 88 mana left, which is like half of the mana that we need for casting Vile Blade Vortex, and we have a lot of mana regen, so it's not a big deal. Problematic is when you have no regen maps, but I don't think that you want to actually do no regen maps anyways. You can use a mana flask because we're still having Leech on top of that, but I personally, if I have a no regen map, why should I risk it? I just reroll it, but it's still possible to do. Alright, let's talk on the next spot, the boots. Albaron's Warpath, pretty cheap item, but it gives you 18% or up to 18% increased strength. Having here, cast when damage taken, low level setup with Immortal Call. Then we have a Wave of Conviction, because we have Avatar Fire, means we do fire damage, so there will be a fire exposure on the enemy, which takes then more fire damage, and Tempest Shield, and the lightning damage will also get converted into fire damage. And yeah, basically I'm running 2 cast when damage taken setups, just because I had so many skill points open, or skill slots open. Alright, so that was the gems. So, for the amulet, I got this Eyes of the Great Wolf just because of the 30% increased attributes, which is massive. If you want to make it cheap, get the... what's it called? The amulet that gives you 100 all attributes, plus like this... God, I forgot what the name is. But you know, the Onyx amulet, the unique amulet that gives you 100 strength. Or 100 all attributes, which is super nice, so you don't have to worry about leveling up your intelligence or your dexterity to equip your gems. The next one would be a talisman with increased attributes, or a shaped amulet with increased attributes. I think I have one of those over here. That was basically just a failed craft at some point. But you have on the shaped amulet, you get the percentage increased attributes, same as on the belt. And this is only up to 12%. This one is 30% increased attributes, which is insane. Then for the rings, I choose to go with the Leup of all, basically because they have the implicit, or at least if it's a double corrupted, or I think through a divination card, you're gonna get those with the percent increased strength. You can't have any of those rings. I have here a search here. I think this one. This is basically an auto search that I have running. This is just like searching for percentage strength and strength on implicit and on global here. And if I just sort by strength, there is some nice rings up there, but I need the resistance. As I said, cold and lightning resistance is what you need, and I got these for like 3 or 4x per piece, and they give you up to 30% all resistance and attributes and increased damage, but make sure it is for the elemental resistance and the attributes that you get out of those. And I'm wearing 2 of those. And for the belt, it's just chaos spammed on this one, because it's not hard. I mean, for example, I told you to use essences for helm and for the shield, and this is because these 2 are energy shield based or intelligence based, so they will most likely roll intelligence. So the heavy belt is a strength based item. So if we're just gonna take one of these, so I'm just gonna show you, like every second or third roll, you're gonna have strength on it. So here we have strength, here we have strength, here not, here we have strength. Good, no. No strength, no strength. But actually, like every second or third roll, there is going to be strength on top of that. That's why I just chaos spammed the belt, because it's likely to roll strength on it, not like the helm and the shield, because they're energy shield based, or at least intelligence based. And I was just chaos spamming them for strength and increased attributes, and attributes is obviously the major choice. And then I just multi-modded with all the energy shield nodes and increased damage what I could find. So, perfect. I think Path of Building link is in the description below, as always, if you wanted to take a closer look here. But I think we talked about the gear here. So, since we're an energy shield based build, we're not having a life flask. Guess what? Well, I'm using a Cinder Swallow Urn for the onslaught, a Wise Oak because my fire resistance is the highest and I'm getting the fire penetration out of that. Then a Basalt Flask for more physical damage reduction and freeze immunity. Then we have a Sulfur Flask with bleed immunity and the Quicksilver Flask to just move faster. Perfect. Let's take a look at the skill tree. There is actually not a lot to say, because it is basically strength, strength, strength everywhere you can find. So we are running 3 times the Brawn Jewel here, just on my strength nodes. Also Might of the Meek over here, just to power up all those strength nodes over here. And as I said, the next 3 levels will be these nodes as well. And then we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 times efficient training that is converting all of these energy intelligence nodes into strength nodes. And this is, yeah, quite nice to have. Just get as much strength as you can have. Then we have Ghost Reaver and Chaos Inoculation, and the Avatar of Fire is our keynotes, as well as the Unwavering Stand, so we are stun immune. Because with 1 life, you're getting stunned all the time. But yeah, and most importantly here, the Unnatural Instinct. If you cannot afford this one, just because it's getting more and more expensive, you're just gonna take the 2 regen nodes and then take the Unnatural Instinct over here. And any like jewel over here, like Might of the Meek, for example, or anything like that. And yeah, if you have the Unnatural Instinct, you're gonna take the mana nodes, so they don't do anything, but you're gonna get all the live region nodes, all the area of effect nodes, cast speed, whatever node. So here's the list, the white list here, what you get from cast speed, life, which is unnecessary, but maximum mana is also really nice, since we're using the Watcher's Eye Jewel, area of effect, skill effect duration, regen, like so many things that we're getting out of that. Also here the small nodes with the curse effect. What you could do is scale into Whispers of Doom and get like a Stonebrand, Curse on Hit, Flammability, for example, to add a second curse, but I don't think that more damage is needed. I mean, 1 million Shaper DPS is kind of fine to do all content. As I said, it's not a glass cannon build, but yeah, having 21,000 energy shield and 20 million Shaper DPS would kind of be unfair, and then the build would be probably way, way more popular than it actually is. All right, this is it for now, and I'm just seeing that I'm missing here 1 point first. But yeah, I still have 5 levels, but I'm just saying that these are the next points that I would pick. Alright, for the bandit choice, I killed all because this is a non-crit build, so either if I use a crit build, I go Alira, and if it's not a crit build, like this is an Ally Overload build, then I'm just killing everything for the 2 points. For the Pantheons, physical damage reduction, Soul of Solaris, and also Soul of Grudkul for even more physical damage reduction. Fine. Alright, so if you want to make it a little bit more tanky, take Soul of Steel, which is also pretty nice. If you want to anoint your amulet, I would probably anoint the beef node here, pretty cheap, but strength is strength, and as I said before, the 30 strength will probably end up in being like 80 strength, just because of the amount of increased attributes we're having. Alright, next point, the cosmetics. Alright, this time I thought about taking a nice, Sin and Innocence layout here with the Sin and Innocence helm, body armor, gloves, boots, shield, weapon, Sunstone weapon effect, Sin and Innocence wings, then we have Holy Eyes with the Sin and Innocence helm attachment, so basically everything there is with Sin and Innocence, Seraph character effect, Wasteland footprints, then the Demonic Blade Vortex, Betrayal aura effect from the Betrayal League, Celestial Righteous Fire, Wasteland Flame Dash, then we have the Chaos Golem, the Clockwork Golem, Faith Guard Herald effect, Lich aura effect, Dark Immortal Call, and that's it. So some people will maybe ask me now, why did I switch back from the weapon? Because I was using this weapon before, right? So this one has increased area of effect per 50 strength, which is a shitload of. So if we say again, what do we had, like almost, let's say 270, 100, divided by 50, would times 3, would end up 162% increased area of effect globally, which is kinda nuts, to be honest. One thing I want to show you, For Blade Vortex, it will not matter because your Blade Vortex is kind of already max. There is almost like not even a centimeter basically in the size, although we have like 150% increased area of effect here. But you're gonna see it on the Herald effect, which is kind of funny. So if we're taking now, let's see how big the area of effect of the Herald of Ashes. Yeah, like, hard to say, explain it here, but you see how big it is, right? And now we're gonna take the weapon here and now see how big it is now. It's like 3 times bigger than before, which is kind of fun though. But based on that I already have Unleash and Intensify support, basically Intensify, I don't think it's necessary because my Blade Vortex is already big enough, and I don't think that I need any kind of area of effect other than that. As I said, you can take it, but always think about it. The more you have from something, the less affected it will be, right? So that means that if you're having like, there is a big difference. If you're having like 50 to 100 increased area of effect, then 150 to 200% increased area of effect. Yes, it's actually the same amount of area of effect, but you have to think of the bigger your circle gets, the less the increased area of effect will affect your character, just because it is calculated from the base area of effect or the base radius that you are currently running. So I think I explained kind of everything on the build. It's a very fantastic build. I'm still grinding on towards the level 100, currently 95, and I know we're not even halfway there. But yeah, maybe I'm gonna cheat a little bit from 98 to 100 with some pure Chayula stones or something. But yeah, this is then going to be the end here on the grinds, and I'm getting another 40 of 40, like I'm kind of doing on every single league as far as I remember doing those. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoy this build. It's amazing. I can definitely recommend. And as I said, yes, I stick a lot currency into it. No, it's not necessary, but for me personally, I just love to play around with my character, squeezing out every single strength point that I can. But if you reach like a 2000 strength, what is super easy to get on this character, you're gonna have an amazing time with this character. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.